Okay. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sam Bludorn. I'm an attorney here in Warren. I used to work for the law department, and I got a memo today that, and Fred got it too, and Fred behaved, and Fred and I have to be on our best behavior. Because sometimes Fred and I say things that kind of make people who are fragile mad. Okay, so I'll be on my best behavior. First thing I want to do is we would like to introduce and thank some of the office holders, candidates, and dignitaries that are here tonight. We have Archie Blair, who's a precinct committee person, I think. That's the best I can read here. We have John Homolitis, treasurer for the city of Warren. Diana Marquez, Trumbull County recorder. Dominic Marquez, Johnson trustee. Lou Lamangi from the Warren Family Mission. Dr. Anthony Montevideo, assistant director of Warren Family Mission. Myron Esposito, candidate for mayor of for Girard, Ohio. Robert Krieger, business owner in downtown Warren, landlord of my office. My former boss, Greg Hicks, the current law director for the city of Warren. Mike Sullivan, Lordstown president of council and also candidate for mayor of Lordstown. Wheeler Morgan, precinct committee person. Bob Marquez, president of Warren City Council. Frank Fuda, Trumbull County Commissioner. Bill Krupa, candidate for council at large. And God bless somebody, they put me down as a dignitary too, but I don't think I rate yet. I think I paid somebody off to do that. But anyway, we'd like to thank you all for coming and recognizing you. And I got to know Jim a long time ago when his son Nick came to work for my office. And we became partners. And I got to know Jim on a personal level and got to do a lot of things with him. I've had the ability to be on the inside of a lot of things that had nothing to do with politics, but that did a lot of good. And one of the things that I've seen is that, and if you were at our original coming out party, I mentioned it, Jim is the biggest cheerleader for the city of Warren that I know. I don't know anybody that's a bigger homer for Warren than Jim Graham. And we need that now. We need that more than ever. I've lived in this town most of my life, except for when I was away at school and different times. And if we ever needed action, we need it now. The last 8 years, we've had an administration that sits back and does nothing. Drive down the streets. Now, I understand our weather stinks, but these potholes are amazing. They're incredible. And there's a person here that sees me drive down the sidewalk occasionally. Well, I do that because it's smoother than driving down the roads. You know, it's like, you say, if you don't like the way I drive, stay off the sidewalk. But honest to God, you ruin your front end of your car or the back end of your car with some of these potholes. There's nothing being done about it. I mean, they're doing what they can, sort of, but that's the way, if you look at the potholes, it's the way our whole city is right now. We're reacting to things. We're not being proactive. We're not doing anything. I had the pleasure of being the attorney for one of the former mayors, Hank Angelo. We mentioned that. Hank used to get in a lot of trouble. He used to make a lot of people mad. But one of the things that Hank did was he did something. Right, wrong, or otherwise, whether you like what he did or didn't, I dare you to say the man didn't do anything. Because he was out there, he was fighting for Warren, and that's the kind of leader Jim's going to be. Jim's going to be out there, he's going to do things. He's not going to sit back. Now, there's an interesting thing. I've been involved in a lot of campaigns. This campaign is really interesting because we have the current mayor of Warren going out and attacking Jim's position on different things. Well, it's really good for him to be able to go out there and be on the offensive because he's not running. So for us to deal with him is a waste of our time. The media can cover it. They don't have to give Jim equal time. And they're, it's a collateral attack, and it's just not fair. Not for an administration that does nothing. They wait for things to come to them, and then they do it. Now, I remember, I worked for the city. I was an assistant law director, and I remember when Fred was the safety service director. And Fred and I had a conversation. And we were talking about the duties of the safety service director. He's the guy. He's the guy that runs the city day to day. He's the one that the department heads are supposed to answer to. They do what they want now, but they're supposed to answer to the safety service director. And one of the things I told Fred was, I said, the safety service director should be, if he's doing his job right, should be the most hated guy in the city. And Fred was. But that's a credit to Fred, because I remember I worked for the city then, and everybody was down on Fred. I didn't have to work for him, I didn't care, but that meant Fred was doing his job. Now what do we hear about our opponent? He's a nice guy. Nice guys don't fill our potholes. Nice guys don't get our city running efficiently. Nice guys don't supervise our employees, because they work for us. Don't forget that. Nice guys don't get the job done. Now, I'm not saying Jim's not a nice guy, but Jim's going to get the job done, and he's going to be respected for it. I always like to tell a story, and I think, and if some of you have heard this, bear with me, but it goes back to Jim being a cheerleader for the city. Jim gets mad when Warren isn't first and foremost on the list of things. And I told people this before. I said, Jim gets mad because Warren's not on the weather map. And he complains about that. But you're not going to find someone who cares more about this city in a time that we need somebody to give a damn about the city than right now. And I think Jim's your guy. And we're going to have to... The bad thing about every campaign is everything costs money. The signs cost money, the advertising costs money, and if you don't have the money to give, guess what else we need? We need your energy. We're going to start a ground campaign. We're going to go door to door. We need people to go door to door. We need people to stuff envelopes. We need people to write friend-to-friend cards. If you can't give money, give us your time. Give us your feet. Give us your hands. Give us your ears. Give us your mouths. But go out and spread the word. We've got to get the word out. We've got to get the message out. And we can't do it without you or your money or both. Unfortunately, we have to do that. So, without further ado, I want to introduce to you the two co-chairs of this campaign, Mark Herron and Kenny Hyderis.